from the kick drums to the bass. Happy smiles all over the place. We want nothing in return. We're here to hear the bass. Our music has a stigma. One more, the scene is getting bigger. You need guidance, honesty, and respect. What comes on the stack? Let's hear the track. You're now locked in to Concrete Connections.
It's about more than just the music and the artists. It's about the entire scene, the entire collective of people coming together. It's about the whole experience and just coming together and having a good time and having a good party.
It's kind of like the boiling pot for everything that comes out in the mainstream. You know, it's a place of expression and experimentation. Underground music for me is a catalyst to a lot of the music that we hear in our day-to-day lives.
But I just love the music because it's happy. You know, I feel like jungle kind of just tickles my brain sometimes because it's like such an abstract form of music.
We just want to party! We're not criminals!
Growing up, I was going to raves, clubs like Heaven, Sanctuary, and the people like Lisa Lashes, Dave the drummer. They were still underground then. They were like, you know, playing clubs all over London, all over the UK. Yeah, by the time I moved to Bristol when I was like 21, I like fully knew I kind of wanted to focus everything on like the underground and these up and coming producers. And it was more kind of making an event with your friends and having a good party. For me, that was like the perfect blend of drum and bass, techno, all these things that I'd grown up with. And I was like, this is the genre, you know? And instantly, every single person who makes that kind of music is so friendly and so open.
Growing up in London, I was always like around drum and bass and stuff. A lot of the music, especially because it's old, is a lot more kind of organic, and you know, it's like original sampling. It's not just like every other tune is like a bootleg of something. You know, you can kind of create these journeys with all these unique sounds and stuff when you're doing a set. I kind of started getting into the music, like the hardcore and stuff, and then it kind of just propelled me into this new social life.
When I was probably about 13, 14 years old, I came across some tape packs from like, you know, Help Skelter and stuff like that. Got really into jungle drum and bass. Started by putting my music on SoundCloud, and it seemed to be getting a lot of love and positivity from people. It just so happened that the music that I was making was really working in the underground rave scene, and that provided an entire catalyst for an entire career for me. My music was really hitting a chord with them, and it was helping them find happiness and joy in their lives.
I think it needs to be longer, doesn't it? It needs to be one time like this.
One time. One time like.
Like this.
One time like this. Make.
Like, working in events has literally shaped my entire life. I knew when I was like 15 on that dance floor that I wanted to be involved. I started putting on raves as soon as I left home at 18. Our event, Happy Days, like, we started off 3 of our friends like on the DJ line, 2 guests that were also our mates, no one big playing. The first event sold out. We never expected it to do. And we never booked anyone big. It was all about our mates and the vibe. From the first night we ever did, the amount of feedback you get of people saying like, it was like, you know, the best night, they'd heard music they'd never heard, they'd had a great time. You're creating this hugely positive experience. This is my escape from the harsh realities of life, you know? Okay, you pay to come to the club, but like, the sound comes to you for free, you know? They can't take that away from you. Like, just one little thing can create so much happiness in your life.
It really helped me kind of give me a direction and show me what I wanted to do in a time where I couldn't even eat or sleep or anything. I actually had something to like work towards. I've always had like issues with self-identity and self-esteem. Doing this whole DJing thing has really brought me a lot of confidence. I kind of care less what people think. It's an escape for people to go and be who they want to be and to come together. It's nice to just go and be with like-minded people. You know, when you go and you like listen to music with people, you always feel like you're literally like connecting on like a brainwave. You're kind of both being taken on the same journey.
It has guided me in quite a good way through my lifestyle. I'm a transgender person. I kind of entered into this whole world of depression and drugs and hiding who I was, and go into a lot of illegal raves to kind of get high and forget about it all. When I got to about 19, 20 years old, after being on the rave scene for so long, I felt like I'd had enough of that, but I was still really inspired by the music. So for me, I started making music. The rave scene's really been a great catalyst to help that grow. And it's just been a great place for me to be myself and for my music to get out there.
As hard as you can. We love you. So let it roll, Darcy.
The people, the friendliness and the openness of it all, I think that's what the best thing about, you know, the music that I love is. It's just the vibe that like those events create. You know, there's so many different genres of music and different raves. The one where you know you're going to make some friends and have a good party is surely the one that you're going to want to go to.
I think from an outsider looking in, you know, as someone that doesn't maybe go to raves or is interested in dance music and stuff like that, I can see how it could be seen as, you know, quite an irresponsible thing, something to look down upon and be viewed in the way that it does, you know.
As ravers, we come up with like slogans like PLUR, you know, peace, love, unity, respect. And like these are values that push down to the younger generation.
You know, in all of the years that I've been raving, I've probably seen maybe, you know, a small handful of bad vibes or fights in the thousands of raves I've attended to. You know, I see it more in clubs. It's definitely a different vibe, you know.
I think it's a place that should really be protected in some senses, in the right cohorts, a place that protects a lot of people, and it also just pushes this music which just shouldn't be forgotten about.
You know, I just really appreciate the underground for creating a pathway to all of these different scenarios that I've ended up in. You know, it all has origins and footings well and truly within the underground scene.
I feel like I'm being taken back to a time where stuff was a bit more open and a bit more happy. I love seeing people just kind of revel in that.
You see all these new ravers that are coming through, the new generation, some of that older generation that have been there for years. The happiness it provides, the freeness of all of it as well, is the biggest buzz in the world for me. Such a big buzz that I don't feel like I'm ever going to need to go back to taking drugs or going back to drink or anything like that, because it's actually an addiction in itself. You know, quite often in rave culture, people look after each other, everyone's safe. It's like a, you know, a good place to experiment, actually.
Like I could never really be depressed because I had drum and bass and I had music. You know, there's something about, especially when you're standing in front of a stack and you've got that sub bass on you and you're hearing the tunes that you love, man. Like, there's no depression at that point. There's no sadness. You're just like at one, like loving it with everybody else. Again, solve the depression instantly. Music's the one. Forget antidepressants.